So just finding your spot. And just lying on your mat. So in this class, we lie on our backs mainly. And tonight we are focusing on the lower back. So just notice, first of all, if you'd like to have your legs bent or if you'd like to have them straight, which one feels better for you? So straight is a bit more of a back arch. You probably can put your hand underneath your lower back. And when you bend your knees, your lower back goes into the floor. So just notice that. And just choose either one of those positions for your back. And then bringing your hands to your belly. Inhale, expand your breath through your belly into your hands. And exhale, draw your belly in towards your spine, making a ha sound. And just keep this going in your own timing. You can close your mouth or have your mouth open. Constricting the throat as you inhale and exhale. Maybe counting the breath, counting your exhale in particular. Each exhale, maybe adding 1 second as you relax into the mat. Adding a humming sound if you like. Every time you exhale, making that humming sound. Inhale. Inhale. And adding Om if you like as you exhale 3 times. Om. 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 And you're ready. I'm just going to start moving the arms. Now, I invite you to have the legs bent or straight. We're just going to move one arm at a time. Now, this is very simple, but I want you to try to feel as you're doing this, as you inhale, bring your arm up, and exhale, bring your arm down. Feel one side of the back at a time working. So inhale, bringing the arm up. Stretching the arm as long as possible. So if you can't bring the arm all the way overhead, you can bring a pillow behind you to bring your hand to. You could bend your elbow. If possible, straightening it and stretching it as long as possible, and exhale, bring it down. Just one arm at a time. Feel one side of your back working at a time. And this is something you can do if you have lower back pain on one side of your back versus the other, is just working one side at a time. And just feel the whole back extending as you inhale, arching as you inhale, exhale, relaxing. Inhale, the arm comes up, exhale, the arm comes down. Now, you might also be able to feel your core engage as you do that exhale. Inhale, you feel the back working and stretching. And as you exhale, you might feel from the pelvic floor up working as you bring the arm down. Now, when you're ready, adding both arms, just feel the difference, engaging both sides of the back at the same time. Inhale, arms up, exhale, arms down. Do this 4 times. See if you can feel as you inhale and exhale, just put your mind on your lower back. As you inhale, feel it arch. As you exhale, feel it relax into the floor. Maybe feel the core activate as you do that exhale. Just finishing up your last one. Okay, we're going to work one side at a time again. So you're going to inhale, bring one arm up. As you inhale, bring the arm overhead. As you exhale, draw the same arm as leg in towards the spine. So you can bring it just to here with your heel on the ground, or if you can, bring the knee all the way into the lower back. And you can hold it with your hands. Inhale, extend the leg long and the arm comes up. And exhale, bring the arm down. We're going to do the other side. Inhale, one arm coming up. Exhale, draw the leg in, hugging the knee into the chest. Inhale, extend. And exhale, bring the arm down. And then you can do this with bent legs if you prefer. Inhale, the arm coming up. Exhale, draw the leg into the chest. Inhale, extend the leg long, the arm comes up. There you go, beautiful. And exhale, bring the arm down by your side. Inhale, other arm up. Exhale, draw the leg into the chest. Inhale, arm coming up. Exhale, arm coming down. Now you can keep that going side to side, or you can do both arms and both legs. I'm going to show that. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, drawing both legs in. Now be careful, this is a fair amount of weight for the lower back. It might be too much. Inhale, extend the legs. We can make them straight or keep them bent. Exhale, arms coming down. Inhale, arms coming up, chin in. Exhale, drawing the legs in. Inhale, arms coming up, legs down. Exhale, arms coming down. And you can do this with the legs bent. I can show that. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, drawing the legs in. Inhale, arms up, feet down, legs straight if you like. Exhale, arms by your sides. We're going to do one more time. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, drawing your knees into your chest. This is using the core strength. Inhale, arms coming up, feet down, legs straight if you like. And exhale, arms by your sides. Just rest for a minute. Your feet can be wide, knees angled in. Just rest for a minute. Your legs can also be straight. Just rest. Okay. We're going to grab a block, or you can use a pillow between your legs. Exhale, squeeze the block into the center. Inhale, release. So just going to start. Excuse with that. I'm sorry, got a frog in my throat. Inhale, expand. Exhale, press into the center. Inhale, expand. Exhale, press into the center. Now, when you do this pressing the next time, I want you to try to move your pelvis back and forth. So inhale, I want you to roll your pelvis forward. And exhale, tuck your tailbone underneath, your pelvis rolls back, and lift your tailbone up just a little bit as you press into the block. Inhale, bring the pelvis down, roll the hips forward. The lower back moves away from the floor. Exhale, tuck the tail under, press into the block, lift the hips up a little bit. Inhale, coming down. Let the lower back move away from the floor as the pelvis rolls forward. Exhale, tuck the tail under. Press into the block, lift up a little bit or a lot. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Okay, we're going to take this up another notch. So I hope someone's trying to get in. Just keep breathing for a minute. Every time you exhale, just press into the block. I'm just letting this person in. Okay, great. Okay, so exhale, press into the block, tuck the tail under. Inhale, expand. Exhale, press into the block, tuck the tail under, lift the hips. Inhale, stay here and lift the hips further. Exhale, rolling down. Inhale. Exhale, press into the block, tuck the tail under, lift just the hips off the ground. Inhale, try to lift higher still. Exhale, press into the block or the pillow and roll down. Inhale, rest into position. Exhale, pressing into the block, tucking the tail under, lifting the hips up. Inhale, lift up higher, lift the whole back off the ground if you can. Press into those feet to lift a little higher still. Exhale, pressing into the block and rolling down. Inhale, rest. Exhale, tuck the tail under, lift just the hips off the ground. Press into the block. Inhale, lift up higher. Press into the feet. Exhale, stay here if you can. If not, you can go up and down in your own time. Otherwise, stay in the lifted position if you can. Every time you inhale, press into your feet. Try to lift a little bit higher. Exhale, press into the block. Inhale, try to lift a little bit higher. Exhale, press into the block. Inhale, lift a little higher. Press into the block. Last time, inhale, lift. And exhale, come down. And rest, release the block. And just as a counter pose, we're just going to do the windshield wipers that we've done many times in our class. So arms at the side, palms facing up or down. Now your legs can be together or they can be apart, your choice. And just make sure you've got lots of room beside you. Inhale, center. Exhale, you're going to bring your knees towards one side. I'm going to take mine to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Now, I've got my legs apart, but if you have your feet together and do the same thing, you'll notice that it goes more into the lower back and less into the hips. So you can try that. That might feel better. I find this easier than the wide-legged version, but it does go a bit more into the lower back, and it's very soothing I find for the nervous system, just this is very contained, very grounded. Those thighs together. So you can try that. Try with the palms down or up, your choice on that. So I'm going to show that version. And the hands can be quite low as well. That can also feel better, more grounded, and more linked to your lower back. Inhale center, exhale side. Just pick a variation that works for your body. Just try to take those pauses between the inhale and the exhale. You're welcome to turn the head the opposite way as you exhale. And if it's comfortable, just staying on one side. Now you might want to stay in this position, or at this point, you might want to change the version you're in. So you could bring your knees higher up. For example, you could bring your knees apart. I'm going to bring my knees higher up, and this gets more into the lower back. Let's just check that out, see how that feels. When you're ready, inhaling through the center, you can kind of walk your feet to the center and then exhale. Other side, again, your legs can be apart, they can be together. And if you want, you can bring your knees a bit higher. And you'll get more into your lower back by bringing your knees higher and just breathing here. So you might be feeling this also into the hip as well as the lower back. And when you're ready, coming back to the center, I'm going to do another variation of this twist just to get more into the lower back. So going again to one side, I'm going to the left, and then with the knees together, if you can, and then you're going to extend that top leg if you can. Extend that top leg and just see what that feels like to extend that top leg. Another variation you can play with is extend the lower leg. And when you do that, some of you will want to take a block or a pillow. I'm just going to show with a block to keep it simple underneath the knee. You can also use a bolster or a pillow. And that's pretty intense. That lower leg can still be bent. I'm going to keep mine bent tonight. It's my back is telling me that's what it wants, but the leg can be straight. Or, as I showed earlier, the bottom leg can be bent and that top leg can be straight. So you can play with those variations. I'm going to stay here. This is getting into the whole lower back of that right side. So just putting your mind there. Staying here around 6 breaths. I'm going to the other side, into the center, going to the other side. So again, bringing the knees to one side, as I'm showing. So my knees are to the right. And the variations that we talked about is straightening the top leg. You could even hold the foot with your hand or the belt, or straighten the bottom leg. So that's the version I'm going to do. And that top leg is over. This exercise is taught by physios very often. It is a variation from yoga. The full pose classically is holding the foot like this, but that's pretty intense. So I'm not going to do that tonight. And that bottom leg, you can also bend, and I'm going to do that tonight just to make it a little easier on the back. And just breathing here, this stay pose. And just finishing up. Coming back to the center. And we're going to do a counter pose for the lower back. I'm going to put a block underneath my lower back, a thin block. So if you don't have anything that looks like this, use a thin pillow and put it underneath your hips and the top edge of it no higher than your waist. And if this doesn't feel good, you can get rid of this. But the point of this is to just help you round your lower back in a safe way in asanas. So exhale, bringing the knees to the chest and inhale the knees away. So you can hold on top of the knees like this, or your elbows can be at the sides, or your hands can be under your knees. And I am going to use the hands tonight just so that the end point, the end range of the motion, I can get really deeply into stretching the lower back. So inhale, knees away, exhale, knees towards you. You can also do this one side at a time if you prefer. Exhale here. Inhale, release, exhale, other side. So that's another variation you can do if you prefer, is one side at a time. Yeah, and some of you have one leg straight, and that's also great. I'm just showing apanasana, just both knees bent into the chest. Try to engage from the pelvic floor to the belly button as you exhale. Slight inversion. Inhale, release. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, knees to chest. Inhale, knees away. putting your mind on your lower back. Can you just put your attention on your lower back, feeling your lower back as you do this pose, just noticing any sensations. For example, you might feel one side more than the other. You have pain, you can play with pendulating between the side there's pain in, and then bring your attention to the side where there's no pain. And then come back to the side with pain, and you might notice the pain has dissipated by doing that. In the final version of the pose, if you like staying, this is a very important pose for lower back pain for many people. And again, if this doesn't work for you because of tightness in the hip flexors, you certainly can have one leg straight and then switch sides. So some people prefer this version, this Ekapada version. When you're ready, release that. Just for a minute. Okay, we're going to keep this block underneath. We're going to work with some core strength, and I'm going to leave this block underneath so that the lower back stays more in the floor. If it doesn't work for you, you can remove this block or pillow. So just doing a bit of core work. So you're going to inhale, you're going to bring one toe down to the ground. And exhale, draw it into the chest. And then we're going to do the other side. So I'm doing this without using the hands. Inhale, the other side touches down. And exhale, drawing it in, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls, knees into the chest. And then the other side. Now, if you want to make it harder, you can extend the leg a little bit more on that inhale. And that will make it harder. So I'm going to keep it pretty easy because I'm still recovering from a lower back spasm I had a few weeks ago. So I'm just taking it easy. But if you want to make it harder, you can extend that leg all the way on the inhale. So that's an option for those of you who want. On the inhale, you can extend that leg, exhale, draw it in, or just touch the toe down. Now, put your attention as you exhale on the pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, drawing the leg in as if you are pulling a weight on a fishing line. Reeling in that leg with the strength of your core, your pelvic floor. And of course, you can do both legs at a time if you prefer. I'm going to keep with one leg, but you're welcome to do both legs if you want to increase the weight. And just finishing up, we're going to add on, adding a leg coming to the sky. So you're going to inhale, start with my left leg, inhale, leg coming to the sky. Exhale, knee coming to the chest. And then the other side, inhale, leg to the sky. Exhale, knees to the chest. We're going to add on in a moment. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, touch the toe down to the ground and draw the knee into the chest. Inhale, extend the right leg to the sky. Exhale, touch the toe down. The further away it is, the harder it is. And at the end of the exhale, knee to the chest. Just keep that going. Again, you could do both legs at the same time for more weight. Or bring the leg further away from you on that exhale movement, and it's a lot more weight. And we have that lock underneath the lower back to protect the lower back a bit. Inhale up, exhale down. And if you like, just trying both legs just to see what that's like. Inhale, legs up. Exhale, touch both toes down. Draw it in. If it's too much, just go back to one leg at a time. Again, you can make it even harder by extending the legs further out in front of you as you exhale. One leg at a time is easier. And just last time. Hugging the knees into the chest, rest. And when you're ready, release. Okay, we're going to move into some leg stretches. This is another important way to work with the lower back, is stretching the legs. So we've done a lot of strength work, and now we're going to, our last 15 minutes, we're just going to do some nice feet stretches. So just starting with one leg, you can start with your easier side. And the lower leg can be straight or it can be bent. And I'm using a belt here. You could just use your hands on the leg if you prefer, rather than using a belt if you don't have a belt. So that's an option. But if you do have a belt, it's a nice way to get into the leg maybe a little bit more. And you're just going to stay here and breathe. So inhale, extend, and if you like, you can exhale, bend a little bit or a lot, or you can just stay here and breathe. That's the version I'm going to use, is just a stay pose. Every time you exhale, can you bring your lower back into the ground? Drop that hip down. And then we're going to switch sides. So again, you can inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. You could be holding underneath the leg or using a belt like I'm showing. I've got the belt on the ball of the foot. Again, you can play with that. And this is stretching the hamstrings. There's 3 of them, plus into the calf. And all of that stretch of the leg affects the lower back. So if you're staying here and it's not comfortable, add that bend, add a floss. Sometimes it's better, especially if there's nerve pain, to floss. You could inhale, point the toe, exhale, flex. So that would be flossing the nerves of the leg, or just staying here and breathing, dropping the left lower back into the floor every exhale. As you drop that hip, you might feel those hamstrings getting more of a stretch and the lower back more of a stretch. And just finishing up. It's comfortable, bring both legs into the belt. Now you could have that block underneath the hips if you like, or just staying like this. Inhale here, exhale. Can you bring your feet a little bit towards your face? Inhale, legs away. You point the toes. We're moving now. Exhale, legs towards your face. So you can keep that going if you like, or you could just stay in the pose if you prefer. I'm going to move this one. Exhale, feet towards the face, flexing the toes towards the nose. Inhale, knees, legs away from the face, pointing the toes. Just keep this going. And just finishing up. And release. Okay. So moving into a side bend for the lower back and the hips. So I'm going to straighten the legs, starting in Sutasana, walking the feet a little bit in steps towards your right. That works for space you're in. Make sure you have enough room because we're going to do the other side. And then if it's comfortable, taking that right foot over the left. So you're crossing the ankles. And then bringing the shoulders over to the right as well, stretching into the whole left side of the body. Maybe bringing the arms up, holding the opposite elbows. The arms can be down if that feels better for your shoulders, or up if it's comfortable. And you're just going to stay here and breathe. Try to put your attention on feeling that whole left side of the body stretching from the upper back to the middle back to the lower back, the hips, maybe all the way down that left leg. And when you're ready, release the feet. Come back to the center with your feet, torso. When you're ready, walking your feet over towards the left side, little steps. You can release the shoulders if you like, and crossing your left foot over the right ankle, so the ankle's crossed if that feels good for your body, and then bringing the shoulders also over to the left. And now we're targeting the right side of the lower back. And just breathing into this. And then notice where you're feeling it, from the upper back to the middle back to the lower back to that right hip, down the right leg, maybe all the way to the feet. Just notice where you're feeling the stretch. Put your mind and attention there. Inhale, expanding, exhale, contracting. And when you feel complete, releasing that pose, coming back to the center. So notice how you feel. You might have felt one side of your lower back more than the other. And as a counter, just a very simple pose or Restorative, very, very simple. I'm going to exhale, bring the knees to the chest. Inhale, legs to the sky, arms coming overhead, or you can just hold behind your legs if you prefer. So exhale, knees to the chest, inhale, legs to the sky. You can add the arms overhead if you like. When you feel complete, just resting in your final relaxation with your legs straight or bent, or you can put a bolster or blocks underneath or a pillow underneath your thighs. Keep a bit of rounding in the lower back so that say more clearly that the lower back is sinking into the ground. You can also pick the bolster up on its edge like this to add even more. Yeah, it's a little harder to do with a pillow, but you can try. You can also put your legs up on a piece of furniture to really relax the lower back. So just notice what feels better for your lower back. And yeah, I have to say one of the gifts of having injured my back a couple of weeks ago through a fall and just having that experience is just reminding me of all these different ways that we can care for our back. And sometimes it's just this, just lying on the floor and breathing. So in this position, every breath, just trying to lengthen a little bit more. Maybe adding a second to each exhale. As you do that, I'm going to chant our final close. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Namaskaram. Thank you very much.